Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Night Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Joe Slick, and I have Luke Clemmer with me, better known as the Snow King, and
Snowplow King.
Canuck. Nah, he's more than a snowplow. He's a snow king. And we have Canuck, who's another snowman. Triple decker, Spock joining us here. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. And there's so much going on politically, so much going on in California. There's so much going on in Canada, and what's happening in Israel. I mean, shoot, howdy. Oh, and Kilauea's, farting off or whatever. Yeah, I got to check that. By the way, go to Dynamic. Our friends at Dynamic Earth were showing it. Oh yeah, it's and Ethiopia is doing its thing. You can see right there in the middle, So yeah, Kilauea is going off. Iceland, Bartabunga was in the news this morning. Did you see that?
Yeah.
My favorite. Bartabunga! I love that one. So Bartabunga was in the news this morning.
Yeah, just Icelandic had a video about it too.
And Professor Nick has a new video out, which two of them. I saw one.
Yeah, he had one with.
Oh no, Aaron Donahue.
Aaron Donahue both.
Yeah.
On there
oh
too.
Wow! So there's a couple of good ones too.
I never watched them, but I didn't have time. I was too busy watching all the other stuff today.
I'm gonna see. I see big bosoms on here. I'm just trying not to. I just see it. Aaron Donahue. I like her too. She's pretty brilliant. So she's in Las Vegas now. She's a I don't know what you call it, an adjunct professor, or it's a new professor over there. I don't know what they call that, but she's a new professor. And Kilauea right here. Here's the view of Kilauea. I can't show up in this. That's it. Yeah. Just don't. Yeah. Anyway, I can go to the USGS. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Because I pay for it in my taxes, right? I'm just not going to show that other weirdo. You don't know who I'm talking about, so don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you. Here, let me. Wait, I can share it over here. Share screen. That one. Let's share this. Show it. There you go. USGS is showing it right here. Let me make sure that our people can see it. Nope, they can't see it yet. All right. That's that one. This one here. Properties.
That's Kilauea currently, isn't it?
Yeah. The live stream here. Let me see. There you go. And bring this over for you. I'm making it for those people who are on Twitch. They can see it too. And so you all can see it. I mean, I don't know if you have Twitch open or not.
Yep. Looks good.
So yeah, it's erupting. It's still in the caldera area, but it's not like spewing lava out down the street, But there was an earthquake this morning, and okay, I see that. There was an earthquake this morning, and looky, right? Yeah, Ethiopia hasn't split open yet. Folks are still hoping. It's kind of like what's going on at Bartabunga. They don't expect it to erupt, and if it does, it'll be under the ice. And if it does do a big one, if the water gets down into the caldera, then it'll be extremely bad. But it's not erupting at the moment. Hi, Susan. Why am I hearing that freaking echo? And I don't know. Whoa. All right. Let me see. I think I know why. Ding. Come on. All right.
Well, the old retired seismologist from Ethiopia says it might rip open. But he's the only one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'd have to find the article again. I read it the other day. He said he's been trying to warn him for years in Ethiopia, but
yeah,
hey, listening
that's
to
far
him.
No
out.
one wants to listen.
I don't know
I
why.
think he's been a seismologist for like 50 years or something. I think it said in the article. So he's pretty old.
It's good to see you're back,
No one
Susan.
wants to listen to him, though.
Not you're back, but good to see you back on the site. You took off this morning. I didn't get to say good morning to you. It made me sad all day.
I'd have to find it again. I don't remember what thing it was in.
What?
He did like a big interview. I'd have to see if I can find it again.
Good morning. Almost good morning. Yeah, my mic is super stinking hot, but I was hearing some feedback. So I shut one thing off. I don't know what that is. But hey, you can still hear me.
I'm going to see if I can find that article.
Put this back to here, I guess. Yeah.
Ethiopia seismologist.
Easy Ethiopia seismo, huh?
Yeah, it just came out like a few days ago. I read it, but I never saved it. It's on my phone.
Yeah, we had Budgie Bird. It was here this morning. Nice to see her. And Calmness 55. She had her phone was broken and oops, shoot, she won't stream. Her phone was broken, so I had to help her reset that. Yeah. The riff will be rifty, not surprised. Yeah. All right.
Is that a rap song or something? The rift will be.
I don't know. It's Cat saying something. Probably related to an antipode or something. I don't know. Yeah, she says, yeah.
All right.
She's gonna shave her head like the rest of the wackadoodles, and then she's gonna rap with what's that dude up in Detroit? What's his name? Crazy 8 or something?
Eminem.
Oh,
Eminem, I think.
please! I think they should sue him for Eminem because he's a lousy rapper. Now, at least he was good, but
Back
he
in
did
the
8
day, he
Mile.
was good.
When he did 8 Mile, yeah.
Well, even before that, but yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody did a train on him and messed his brain up, or he got into something he shouldn't have, because he really just kind of went sideways. I don't know what happened to him.
Lost his way.
Yeah, he went to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it 5 days ago. Was the article? So
Okay, you gonna post it?
I got to copy it in here.
All right. 8 Mile is an infamous in Detroit. Yeah. That movie that was about his life, that was, I think he was in it too, but it was
Yeah.
an eye opener. You know, it
I
gave
used
you
to deliver to 8
appreciation.
Mile all the time.
It gave you appreciation for what he did. He was a rabbit too, you know, but he kind of lost his way. Oh, the reporter. Oh my gosh. I don't know what, I think this is a woke website, but nobody listened to us. Geophysics experts laments culture of neglect, warns quake could grow worse. Professor A. Lee, the director of Institute Geophysics Space, God, holding a postgraduate. God, I mean, all these things. Okay, just say 8. He's smart. He's like, 25 words to say what he's done. He has spent much time in 3 decades in research focused on seismic activity, which is earthquake stuff, Mom, in East African Rift in general. He's saying leads have come under the media spotlight in recent months as long-running series of earthquakes in rocks, Fental, Dolphin, and the surrounding areas, with tremors often felt all the way to Addis Ababa and whatever. Attlee and his team of experts have been warning of impending seismic activity and potentially disastrous effects since the far back as 10 years ago, but neither the public nor the government paid attention. You know, these things can get off a lot of damn gas. And that SO2 is not a good thing. And Attlee spoke about the danger of country's most important trade route and its largest city, as well as the implications of weak building codes, enforcement, and dangerous government culture ignoring scientific research. Yeah. Read more about whatever.
Like, this is a long article because they ask them questions.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. What causes earthquakes? About 250 million years ago. We're all called it all together Pangea. It wasn't until, what was it? I wrote it down today. Some good stuff. 230 million years ago. Yeah. Did you know that the asteroid that hit Mexico wasn't discovered until 1990? The theory happened in 1980, but the actual location happened in 1990.
Are you talking Chicxulub?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to go down and do all the work on
It
the
was
bottom
discovered
there.
by an oil company.
No.
What
I don't
wasn't
know.
it discovered by an oil company that was doing seismic readings, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might have
trying to
been.
map what was underneath?
Well,
the
what they
ocean?
did is they found the iridium, and that wiped out 70% of all life in the sea, out of the sea, in the air. But
was
at the same time that was
90% on
happening, volcanoes were going off, and it was already killing dinosaurs. So it was just like fortuitous. Let's just do it all at once. You know.
Well, I mean, could you imagine the Earth getting slammed by that asteroid? You would think volcanoes would be going off all over the place.
Oh, absolutely,
Just the
right.
pressure of just wham. You know, something the size of Mount Everest or bigger slamming into the Earth at
Yeah. Well, they said the
40,000
crater's
miles a month.
100 miles wide.
Yeah,
Chicxulub craters
It's like-
is 100 miles
it's
wide.
like 18 miles. It's like 18 miles deep or something too, isn't it?
Yeah.
12 miles or it's a
Right.
huge amount.
But their whole scale of, Pangea moving, starting about 250 million years ago, and then the Atlantic Rift, that happened 250 million years ago, was a big volcanic explosion in Siberia, and
Right.
that killed everything too. It killed
That was that-
95% of everything.
That was that big mantle plume that
Yeah,
came up, wasn't it?
mantle
Gunnar?
plume that came up, like if Yellowstone did the same thing,
Hundreds
everybody be
of
dead,
miles that were just flat.
because the
Yep.
mantle plume is right under the continent. Siberia,
Yep.
when it went off in Siberia, was right under the continent, the hot spot. You think
Well,
there's an equation there?
There was a new article I read yesterday too that on seismic tomography that now they think the things they're finding down in the mantle may not all be slabs.
Didn't I just say that a week ago?
Yeah. Well, in the article now, because they have a different way of analyzing it better
Uh-huh.
with their new stuff.
Yeah.
They're still using seismic tomography, but now they can actually view it better.
Well,
Whatever.
I guess
Right.
the time scale that I found today was 250 million years ago was when Siberia went off. 180 million years ago is when Pangea began to split up.
So
So-
they're not sure what the other stuff is. Is it congealed minerals
Right.
are just there and coming up, or is it a piece of like an asteroid, or could be all
Really?
sorts of things.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't know exactly what it is. They just know it's different from the slabs.
Okay. Are they talking about the candy slabs or the other slabs?
Well, they never really said. They just said there's stuff that's not that's different from the slabs because they think it's made out of different
Material?
minerals and stuff. Yeah, because they can
Well,
tell whatever this new method they're using for analyzing all this stuff, they can differentiate between what's a slab and not a slab.
Are them objects diving down into the core still? Them objects that you're talking about?
Well, they don't know. See, that's what they were surmising or trying to figure out in this article. They said, well, we don't know if they're moving up, if they're just stuck there, or what they're doing.
Right.
So,
if you listen to what Professor Nick and his people are saying, you know, I'll bring up him a lot because it's the courses that we're in. We're in like a college course. It's just the best kind of college course because it's not memorizing these things, but it's more interactive and it's really fun. And what they said the other day was really, really interesting. All the slabs that are going down underneath, those are oceanic slabs. They're way more dense and they have liquid in them. And so they create the volcanoes, right? But the material that rises to the surface, that's your gold, your silver, your, uranium and all that stuff. That rises up because it's less buoyant. Also, rhyolite rises. It's not a heavy rock. It's a very, it rises up. Buoyant.
Very buoyant, very light rock.
Yeah. And find that very, very, very interesting that when we're talking about these and the volcanoes which go down into the lithosphere, the roots of it, it's kind of like you have teeth, right? And you have roots, or a taproot if you're a certain kind of tree. They bring up the really deep stuff like diamonds and stuff. They're super, super deep, and takes a lot of pressure to bring up diamonds. I was watching.
Yeah, they only come from the core, basically.
Well, I don't know if it's the core or the mantle or the upper mantle or where we're at, the crust. I don't really know where, but they said they're very deep. The diamonds are. And I think
they're down close to the core where you'd get the pressure to squeeze it enough to make diamonds.
Well, from what the article said today, he said, and it's a guy who works for the main one down in South Africa, said the reason that diamonds are around is not because they're down so much that they're down deep, but they come up through volcanoes, and a particular kind of volcano, an extremely explosive volcano, where the sides of the volcano are smooth because of the compression. So it's kind of like the black powder in a gun, right? It's a lot of pressure, but it's contained in the barrel. So, and that's what the pressure they're talking about that makes these diamonds. So it's like, that's interesting.
Like up in the Western territories of Canada,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where a lot of these big diamond mines are, way up north, north of Inuvik and Yellowknife and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. Yeah.
There's a lot of old volcanoes up there that are extinct that they're actively mining diamonds out of.
Okay. Okay. Talking to Mom.
Yep.
She's okay.
Trying to find that article, but
What's that?
trying to find that article, the new tomography article.
Okay. Well, you work on that. And they're watching the volcano. Kimberlites. Yeah, Kat. Yeah, the Kimberlites. Myron Cook was just talking about that. Oh, I didn't know that. Instead of a paper on easy and put it on the laptop. When I drove. Oh, yeah. Also Ontario, yeah. But the Kimberlite volcanoes. It was quite interesting to watch that video where De Beers and all them, all the big ones.
Yep.
And watching, what was super sad was you see a bunch of human beings at a table with their heads down looking at these diamonds going, separating the diamonds from because some have more inclusions than others. And he showed a diamond that was probably size of a dime or a little bit less than a dime. He said it was like $80,000 just that one diamond. And it's like, wow.
Well, right. The real super cloudy diamonds, they get used in the construction industry, making tools and diamond blades and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they can cut.
One,
yeah.
Get used for jewelry,
Mm-hmm. I got
distracted because there's a new seismic velocity study of Mount Etna that has all, like how the magma chamber is and how all the quakes are working and stuff.
Oh.
When I'm trying to look up this other one, I always find something else.
Yeah, you get on rabbit holes all every day, like the rest of us. Yeah. I have an attention span of a gnat right now, so I'm trying to stay focused. Okay, massive kimberlite pipe goes through Nunavut to South Kansas. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's.
I think the Black Hills are made out of that stuff in South Dakota too, of that kimberlite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Nemaha Ridge basically is the opposite side of it, I think. Because it's between the.
And just.
Because the mountains there in the Dakotas are the western side of the whatchamacallit. I can't think of the name of it.
That's a candy bar. It's not a Kit Kat.
Black Hills?
Yeah, the Black Hills is part of it. And it goes right up through on that other side. And then on the other side, I think, is the Nemaha Ridge.
The Nemaha, Nemaha.
Eastern side.
Yeah, the Nemaha Ridge. That's where they're getting all the oil from, is the Nemaha Ridge going east.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
All right.
Because it starts at the Nemaha Fault down by Dallas, Fort Worth, and then it goes right up through OKC, and then it switches into the Humboldt Fault Zone and keeps going, but it's still the Nemaha Ridge.
Yep.
Going way up. Goes through Nebraska and then just keeps going, I think.
Yep. Well, it goes all the way up through Manitoba, going all the way north up through Lake Flin Flon, if I remember correctly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I can't find that article. I thought it was on phys.org, but I can't find it. That's how I got distracted with the Mount Etna thing, because it's one of the main articles on it.
I got distracted because Nick has Jamie McDonald on as well. That's the other. So he has two things on.
Yeah, he's got two today.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow at 12:45 as well. Arizona time, California time. I think it's 12.
2024. Maybe that's why I'm not finding it. It's 2025 now. So it's giving me all these other articles from like 2024. Because they have like a separate seismic tomography section.
Did you see that the fact that they're landing on the moon?
With what?
Um, hold on. I got to put that on mute. NASA and SpaceX launched 2 moon landing missions on one rocket. Did you know that?
When did that happen? Like the other day?
It's just freaking happened. It's live.
Oh,
They just
No,
launched
I
the
guess,
rockets. All right. So the rockets are being launched off right now.
I thought they're supposed to launch a Blue Origin again tonight,
Oh, shit.
1 a.m. Or try to launch it. Every time they try and launch it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with it.
Let me see if SpaceX has it. Okay. Yeah, SpaceX is right here. All right. Okay, yeah, they just... Wow, that was cool. I just watched the... Well, anyway, let me share this tab instead. This is from SpaceX, everybody. No sound. I took the sound off. Something blew up. It looked like something exploded. Oh, the separation of the... Oh, these are just... Forget about it. Stop sharing. I don't know what... I just thought I saw something explode. No, it's still in space. All right. So what's happening? You know how they launch all the satellites on this rocket? It's going to launch 2 missions at the same time to land on the moon. That's pretty cool. So that's what they're doing right now. And I don't know what happened to that was Starship. That freaking frack. SpaceX, is that it? No. Collaboration with NASA. Starship 7 Flight 7. Yeah, they're doing something in collaboration with NASA. NASA space flight. Hey, we pay our taxes on this. So that's ours. What the hell just happened?
That was a weird noise.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably Nick or some knucklehead that I know.
Well, I'm finding like all sorts of other interesting studies, but not the one I'm looking for.
All right, dude. You know me. I got about 2 brain cells left right now. They're shutting down. They're shutting. 3. You have 3. Oh, yeah. I need 1 to go pee on, and I need 2 of the others to walk to the restroom, and there's 2 legs. You know.
Yeah, apparently the Israelis have figured out how quakes work. So it's the new
yeah, we know. Yeah.
Because they're advanced 8 days ago was the article.
Yeah, well, definitely.
It's too long, I couldn't read it. And they were talking about geometric things, so I said, yeah, well, whatever.
Well, Kilauea is erupting.
It has something to do with whatever it does before it ruptures.
Well, before I pass out here, we're 29 minutes in, 30 minutes in now. So what's happening in Canada? you know, they had the premiers, or where the hell they call it, all the heads of all the states,
Yeah,
provinces, I think you call them. And they all had a meeting. Did every single one go to the meeting? I don't know how many. What do you got, about 15 provinces?
The Premier of Alberta, she never went.
She never went? All right. Why didn't she go?
She's already in the States on vacation because she's going to the inauguration.
All right, right on. She's a cool chick anyway. I like her.
Yeah, and she did respond to it on Twitter, I think, or X or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she said that she doesn't intend to do what the other provinces are doing.
Right. All right. And Trudeau is rallying the troops to, you know, take a crap on the United States because they think they got something over on us. Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically. They didn't say what they were doing, but I can pretty much guess based upon
what? Based upon what?
Based upon what I know, we shipped to the States.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what the States shipped to Canada? Nothing. Do you know how much trade?
All sorts of stuff,
deficit?
but not like big things.
Yeah. Okay, not big
I know
things.
exactly what goes to Canada from the U.S. Basically everything they have.
Yeah. Yeah. You think there might be a discrepancy in some of the reporting that you know, if Canada did that, what would happen to Canada? You know, you know what this whole argument's about. First of all, let's define the argument. Let's define the argument. What was the argument between Trudeau and the incoming president?
Well, it's about certain things, like
what?
Trump doesn't like that we make all the cars up here that we do.
No, that's not what it's about.
Well, that's one of them.
No,
that's
it's
what
not.
He talks about all these things.
No, he's using that as a tool to negotiate. What does he want?
Well, I know, but the problem is he's going to piss everybody off, and then he's going to get screwed.
What does Trump want? Does he want Canada to stop making cars? No. What does Trump want?
No, what he really wants is both everything in Canada and Greenland, because we have the most natural resources. That's what he wants.
So again, you got the talking points, but what does Trump really want? It's the same thing that's for Mexico. It's the same thing. No.
Yeah, but you guys have way more illegal immigrants.
Yeah, there are a bunch of Chinese coming from your side of the border. The border's not secure on your side of the border, dude.
The Chinese are everywhere. If you tax,
except for if
every country that has Chinese, it's like every freaking country.
Well, of course, they breed like cockroaches. I know, but it's okay.
Well, not just them; it's all the other foreign people too. Because
they can fly into Toronto and then come across the border with no problem.
And Russia's birth rate is crap, so we're going to get overrun by all these other.
Well, our birth rate here in the States is crap too.
Unless you stop them from coming, but the only way to do
why do you think they're such a bitch about the abortions?
The only way to stop all these countries from coming, you got to stop flying planes to other countries and ships, because that's how they get here. And the majority of the ones that come into the U.S. and Canada are all flown in by private airlines.
Do you think the incoming president doesn't want Canadians to come to America? Do you think that's the problem?
No.
Do you think the deficit, that the difference between what Canada gives?
Negotiate, but eventually you're going to piss everybody off, and people that are your friends, and
again, only if they don't freaking listen. There's one thing that he requested. The lady in Alberta heard it. Listen to what the Alberta lady said.
He has all the oil and natural gas, but Canada has everything else that the U.S. needs. Like most Americans don't even know all the
stuff. What is the argument?
Because the only reason we give all that stuff away because we want money.
You're such a Canuck. Come on. Come on, get down to the base. Get down to the base. He
Oh,
doesn't
come on.
want the drugs coming across the border. He wants the border secured. Canada just needs to secure the border. That's all he wanted.
Well, every country has
He
drugs
wants
in it.
trade back and forth. He wants Canada to be successful. He wants the U.S. to be successful.
Well, the only way it
expects
is he has to have access to all our natural resources. It's the same thing with
Again,
Greenland.
you misreading that. You're listening to the talking points. All he wanted was the secure border. And the lady in Alberta said, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Sure.
Yeah.
Because every place has to agree to the same thing, which is not going to happen.
Well, that's because then he does what he needs to do to get Canada cut on board.
And that's going
Stop sending the drugs down to the United States.
4 years again, anyway. So the only way to stop drugs is convince people not to buy them or use them. And that applies to every
He's
country.
also going to put on the books that if you sell drugs, you're
Because that's how the cartels make money, and also the terrorist organizations.
yeah.
So to solve that issue, you got to stop people from buying drugs.
And Mexico is terrified that he's going to send the Delta in there to kill some terrorists.
Well, the problem is there's
Mexico.
not enough special forces for all this stuff that needs to be done.
Well, he doesn't only has to take care of two countries, Canada and in Mexico.
Not really, because all the other countries are already here. All our enemies are already here. So you're going to have to take them all out somehow and get them out of here. So you either got to kill them or catch them and deport them.
We're not going to deport them. We're going to put them in the deep six. We're going to deep six them. Yeah, he said his goal is to, if you sell drugs,
because there's not enough law enforcement or military people now to do anything because they're spread way too thin.
in Canada, sure. There's none of you guys are
Every
real
country.
anymore, right? Wait, how's your Navy doing up there?
Well, we just have frigates and subs.
Yeah,
They're British that burn up.
the British, the British.
Yeah, British subs.
Oh yeah,
Our old ones that run on, their old ones that ran on diesel, they sold to us, and then they made their new ones.
I think Canada, used to have a pretty good little Navy. I wonder how are you going to protect yourselves?
Well, we've never
How are you going to protect that
They're
Northern
gonna call on the
Passage?
US.
We never protected ourselves
They're
since World War II.
Fitz hitting a
They
sham.
counted on England and the US to protect them.
Yeah,
They've been cutting the military here since World War II.
yeah, they're doing it here too since
Yeah.
freaking what was his name? Oh, we have a surplus. Let's close all the bases down. What a putz!
Well, and you used
Yeah.
to have a whole
It
bunch
started
of
with the Bushes, Bush
bases
1
in
and Bush
Canada
2
too,
were
but
terrible.
now there's not any bases in Canada.
Domestic policy sucked. Then if and I don't know how Building 7 came down without explosions. If that whole thing was bullshit,
There is one base, U.S. base in Greenland, but it's not very big.
yeah. And I just heard that the Greenland might do a vote and say, you know what, we want U.S. now. We
Yeah,
don't know.
because they
51st
don't like
state,
them
Greenland.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Canada could be the 51st all the way. I think you have 15 provinces. They can all
They would
vote.
just call it one state. They would
Nah,
just call
they
it
have to be
province.
different.
They'd
They have to be different
break
because
them up into counties or something.
I mean, Canuck likes New Brunswick. That's his country. Yeah, he's a Canuck, but he's a New Brunswick.
They've talked about putting our 4 provinces together and calling it Atlantica. So that's what they would call it. That's
Is that
one
what
of
you're
the-
doing? Pull out of his butt?
Atlantica County.
It's a county. There you go.
It's the 4 original provinces of Canada, basically.
Yeah. Well, I watched some putts on one of the channels over there, and he was like, we were kicking the U.S.'s butt back in 1812. I was going, really?
Well, yeah, because the population back then was pretty much even. 1812.
Yeah. Well.
So they were like evenly matched.
Yeah.
when
They were
Saratoga.
both still firing at each other with cannonballs. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think somebody had to cross a river to do something too.
Because it was the same year as New Madrid and the SoCal quakes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
1812.
And also there was quakes up in Canada too.
yes, there was.
You know, so
Yeah.
there's somebody had the magic button, right, to push and make the earthquakes back then.
Yeah, they had the secret earthquake weapon. Well, it's probably the natives because that was when they started rebelling. Was that year too?
Yeah, throw Joe in a volcano,
They,
right?
they just,
That's
they
when
just did,
Tecumseh started the Indian Rebellion. Was 1812.
they'd just do dances, and then the earthquakes would happen.
Right.
Yeah, because he said the Great Comet and the New Madrid earthquake was when they decided to switch and fight the European invaders. Same thing for the Native Americans in SoCal after the 1812 quakes.
Was that when Haley's Comet came through, Canuck?
What, Mom?
No, it was another comet. They called it the Great Comet of 1811 because that's when it started flying over.
Fine.
Right when the first New Madrid quake happened.
You see the volcano?
Yeah.
So that was when the big Indian Rebellion started. Up to that point, they were allies with whoever the Europeans that came there, the Spanish or whatever, in the States.
Yeah, the Spanish and English were there. Germans
up in the Dakotas, it was the French that came here first.
French trappers.
Yeah, because all the trappers came down through all the stuff.
Yeah, that's why you're all short. Except for you, Canuck. You're a beanpole, so you're pretty tall. What are you?
Yeah.
6'3"?
6'1", 6'2".
Somewhere in there. All right.
Yeah.
Depends on which convenience store he's walking out of that day.
Depends on how many potatoes and potato chips I eat, which is why everybody here has diabetes.
Yeah, no kidding, right? All the oil. Yeah, it's the oil. It's not the potatoes. It's the oil.
The two things here everybody has is diabetes and kidney problems, which is an offshoot of that. Plus all our water that has so much manganese in it too, I don't think helps.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of manganese.
Yeah, because we
got mercury up here.
When they first started making metal ships here, we used to have a whole bunch of manganese mining, and then they stopped it for some strange reason. Now they figured out that the manganese we have here, you can actually build ships and weapons of mass destruction with it, and the other kind we have is good for computer chips. But so there's mining companies around here that want to mine it because it's all like along the foothill of the Appalachians. But of course, all the people don't want any mining because it ruins their water. Well, our water is already ruined, so
yeah,
which most people don't understand. But it's better to get it out of there than leave it seeping into the water supply.
Right?
Yeah.
Do bunnies have legs?
Yeah.
Be bunny legs. They have feet. I don't think they have legs.
Oh, they have legs.
And it's kind of funny because a bunch of the roads around here are like named Iron Ore Hill Road and all this stuff. And people move there into the subdivision. They go, why is it called Iron Ore Hill Road? And then when you go looking it up, you find out it used to be a gigantic manganese mine. Like, whatever.
Well, how do you clean the water so you can drink it?
Well,
you get the manganese out of there first.
Yeah, you have to use filters.
You got to bind it out of there.
Yeah, you can try and filter it out, but it just fills up your filter, and you got to change it like all the time, depending on where it is.
So where are you going to get your water then?
Well, we just get it from the town. I drink bottled water.
You're going to get it from the States.
Well, no, our water that I get comes from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it gets shipped from the States.
Well, not really, because it's Big 8 water.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you.
We have the most freshwater resources in the world, so that's another reason why Trump.
Yeah, but it's full of manganese. You can't drink it.
Yeah, they can use it to put out fires. He just said that yesterday. He's going to make a big pipeline all the way down. That's what he said.
You know,
Yes,
that putz over in California. What's that putz's name? Who's leading California into the pit? Gruesome Newsom.
Yeah.
All he has to do is put one desalinization plant or allow it to be built. They're not allowing them to be built. That's the problem.
Well, they just have to ask the Israelis how to build them, because that's what they
Israelis have done amazing what they did. I think we watched that video here, a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible what they've done.
They've become a big producer of salt too because of that desalination plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all the salt that they get out of that. I mean,
is that pink salt? I don't know. People talk about the pink salt. I don't know what they.
I don't know. I don't think pink salt comes from Israel though.
I don't know. I've never heard of pink salt.
I don't remember where the pink salt is.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. They make like a pink table salt.
Mm.
It's kind of like sea salt. It's a little chunkier.
Mm. Mm. I heard.
Good stuff.
Good
What did I
for
hear
you.
today? Oh boy, that just brain farted it out. Boy, I'm tired.
And there it was, gone.
I was. Where'd he go? Shit, fuck it. Forget about it. I'll find it in
We
a
were
minute.
talking about salt.
Yeah.
Pink salt.
But I was already onto a new subject and it just went.
Sorry, brother.
It's okay. It happens. And no, I didn't drink anything or smoke anything. I'm burnt. But it was. I'll find it. I'll probably find it when I'm putting in that floor tomorrow. Oh yeah. It had to do
I'll be
something
waiting for
with
the phone call.
Canada and US though. No, had to do something with California, I think. I got to get back on that train of thought, then it'll come to me. But so what about the what have you heard on the Israeli thing there, Luke? Have you heard anything on that? What's going on in Israel right now?
No.
No. You got the same look I got.
Well, supposedly it's supposed to be in effect by the 19th, but
What's supposed to be in effect?
this new deal for all the hostages.
What's that?
Well, not all. I shouldn't say.
What did you hear?
Oh yeah.
What did you hear?
33.
Trump said all the hostages got to be released before the 20th, or all hell was going to break loose.
Okay, that's what he said. But what happened? What did you hear, Canuck?
Well, this deal, which is the U.S., Egypt, and the Qataris.
Mm-hmm.
Because
What's the deal? What's the pieces of the deal?
Well, it's supposed to be in 3 phases, but they haven't announced like the second and third phase what it's supposed to be. But the first phase is they're supposed to release 33 hostages on. Well, it's supposed to start on the 19th. So that's supposed to be the first day of the deal. So they're assuming that those first 33 hostages, I'm assuming it's the ones that are alive. Like
First
some of these
phase will include 33 Israeli hostages.
Yeah.
The ceasefire will be made permanent in phase 2. Netanyahu's office says the deal has not yet been finalized.
Yeah.
And yet, who? The U.S. president is saying that he did it all himself.
Yeah, well, the Qatari, whatever he is, the negotiator, the prince, or whatever his name is,
Mm-hmm.
he had a big press conference today in Qatar.
And he said, and thank you, Mr. President. Joe Biden.
No, he said he mentioned the incoming president, but he said both Will Koff's name there and the other negotiator that was for Biden, whatever his name is. He's got a weird name. Can't even remember it. Quig or Quirg or I don't know what his name.
Quigley down under.
I can't.
Quigley
No,
down
it's
under.
some weird name. He's been the negotiator since Biden's been in there.
The deal includes multiple phases. Phase one will include 33 Israeli hostages, including all women, children, and men over 50 years old. Does that sound like 33 people?
Yeah,
I think they're doing it at least right. I mean, let the women and the children and
Not
the senior
all
citizens
American hostages are expected to be released during this phase.
No.
A U.S. official source tells us that the two American citizens, Keith Siegel and Sagu Dickel Chen, are on the list of hostages to be released in the first 6 weeks. The
Yeah.
process of releasing the remaining American hostages, include those who have died, is ongoing.
Hamas is getting all its prisoners back from Israel.
Palestinians are expected to be able to return to their homes during phase one. Talks on the second phase will begin day 16 of first phase. The phase is expected to include the release of all remaining hostages, permanent truce, and a complete Israeli exit from Gaza. They've already bombed the shit out of it. There's nothing left. They want to go home. This phase is where the conflicts could emerge when it comes to security concerns and questions on who will govern Gaza. Israeli said they don't really want to.
Well, the Qatari guy said it's probably going to be Qatar and the U.S.
No, I don't want to be part of that crap.
Well, you got to remember this whole deal started Biden's people, right? So.
Well, of course, he wants credit.
Oh yeah, all sliding Biden. Yep.
Biden to outline accomplishments in his farewell address. So this is what he did. Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, not sorry.
POS. I think Vampy has the munchies. So
we'll see what happens by the first of the week.
Yeah. Okay, what about yeah, it was very interesting for Mexico and what is it? Ukraine to send firemen over to the US in California. I didn't hear one Canadian fireman coming down.
No, we just
they even sent
we're sending
Dakota down there.
You're not sending, we're renting them. You're not sending them.
More planes.
No, we are renting them. They're on contract. And most of them went back because the contract ended.
Well, they just said
so
they
you
were
didn't send them.
Or more here the last couple of days. Because the other one, it's back in surface after it got hit with
oh yeah, that drone.
And they said in the news today that
did some damage, dude. That plane.
For why the FBI and the police showed up at Ben Affleck's house today.
Why? Tell me.
Well, that's what they used for the excuse that he had.
They found little boy remains there.
Well, that's probably the real story. But what they said is they were there. What they announced to the media was they were there to find out about. He had video of the drone that hit the water bomber.
Yeah, it was his.
That's
drone.
What they said. That's what the authorities said. But
it was his drone, is why. Yeah.
Or they were there because J-Lo's ran away because she used to be with P. Diddy. So.
I've heard so many very bad things about all those people. I'm like, what? Really?
Why LeBron is retiring, and what was the other thing? Something else I can't remember. Oh, it's why Leonardo's never come back to the States since P. Diddy got arrested.
Yeah, because he's got to go to a place where there's no extradition.
Yeah. So
I think he's got to go to Brazil. He needs to get a Brazilian anyway.
yeah. When I started doing the search for all the sex trafficking stuff, it all went to Pacific Palisades, most of the articles. I wonder why it burnt down.
Yeah. Why does it sound to me like Hawaii all over again?
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Doesn't it? It's so wild. That's why all those people got out of their cars and ran. Remember how all those people in Hawaii died in their cars? It was terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's why this time they all ran, I guess, because they all got out of there, and then they had to plow all the vehicles out of the way. That's the bulldozer.
They went a bulldozer and knocked some out. Yeah, they did that.
But now it's all blocked off. It's like Fort Knox there now. They have gates and everything for you to go through the street, and the National Guard is there, and you can only get in if you're have an approved pass by the authorities. Because the guy there that I was watching from whatever they name it, Santa Monica Close Up is what he is on YouTube. He goes on his bike and films stuff. But somebody said he's an ex-policeman because he was like going in all over the place there up until just yesterday. And now he can't even get in because somebody was saying he's an ex-cop. So, and they knew him, so they were letting him go in there to film all the stuff. But he tried to go yesterday because he knows all the different ways of getting in there. Every way was blocked. They even had like stairways and the bike trails and everything all blocked off. So nobody could get in there at all.
Dude, it's a moonscape, man. It's terrible. The report is today that in the news, both Trump and Biden are claiming credit for the truce deal. Yet Serbia credits Trump for the hostage deal. Serbia, of all people. Netanyahu thanks Trump for securing the hostage deal. So who did it, I guess? And Bibi's speaking with Trump today as well. Yeah.
Well, nothing's been finalized with it, so you know.
Yeah, Netanyahu says the final ceasefire details are still to be signed and sorted. So they've been working on something for some time, and I think they just had trouble because Israel killed all the leaders. You know, who's going to take control? You know, so it's like
brutal.
Well, the only problem is if they release all those terrorists.
FAFO, man. FAFO.
If they release them and let them all back into Gaza, it's going to be the same thing like what happened with Sinwar before.
Well, I would hope that the Gaza people would say, look, we don't want this crap. And Israel's Israel. We're our own
they were all
country.
celebrating today.
Well, that's good. Maybe they can rebuild their lives. And I think, I think they're going to get a lot of help from Israel because Israel will send power to them and they'll rent for power. Well, they don't have any money. I don't know.
Well, I don't know
how that works. I know they were getting power from Israel, and I think they're getting fresh water from Israel. I think they're getting food from Israel.
He said,
and they were working in Israel. Why these jackasses decide that they want to, kill a bunch of people for stupidity and start all this bullshit? And look what happened.
Because the Qatari prince said it was basically going to be the U.S. and Qatar that was going to.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope it's Norway and Qatar. That'd be fine.
Sweden.
Yeah. Norway and Qatar. Why? Because Norway doesn't have a dog in this hunt, whereas we do. You know, because we support Israel, and Norway supports Israel too to a certain level. But I think because we're so close to them, I think we need to be divorced from anything, so that the Gazan people can actually create their own whatever groups and just, dump Hamas. Hamas has been nothing but a pain in the ass for all of them. Done more harm than good. I've seen the Hamas people jumping on these trucks that were full of food, and they were taking control of it. For what purpose? The people, it was going to the people, being distributed. You got to kind of,
being a little terrorist at that point.
if you really cared about your people, like you say you do, then let them eat. Let them have food and water. But you jumping on the trucks and taking control of the trucks because you got guns. Shit. I don't know.
Not right.
Well, I don't. Maybe they think it's right, but I don't know how they think that that's right, because I'm not in their mind. I just.
It's a totally different culture too. So.
Yeah, and
I mean, even
is
like
Israel totally innocent with pissing them off? No. But
well, I'm sure Israel's like, hey man, you pissed in my Cheerios, now I'm gonna piss in yours.
No, we're not even gonna give you a spoon. We're gonna beat your ass with the spoon and drown you in the bowl of milk, and then we're gonna kick you down the road and say, don't come back no more. They're not gonna piss in your cornflakes. They're gonna, and they did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what our new president here in the States says. You better have him out, or all hell's going to break loose. And I think he's going to give Israel the green light just to mow it down.
Dude, I don't think I'd want to be these other countries versus Trump. I don't think you'd want to be on the bad side of him. I mean, the dude pretty much, the good news is the dude pretty much is what he says he is.
And they said he was unstable. That's the weird thing, right?
Well,
they said Trump is so unstable.
But
he's not. He's super stable. He does what he says he's going to do. You bank on it, and
that's why I say the good news and the bad news is he's pretty much who he says he is.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he said.
But you remember back in his first tenure when they were saying he's so unstable. He's so unstable. No, he's not.
They've never dealt with.
Like him or hate him, he is what he is. Now I don't know about, up there in Canada. I'm not sure how many people like their current leadership. But I know there's a lot of arm twisting going on. I've watched it, and taking control of people's bank accounts, and
that trucker strike showed that up in Canada.
It surely did.
When the Canadian government took over the truckers' banking accounts
because
they were
right. That was a peaceful protest too. Not one place was destroyed. They kept the place clean. They were totally respectful Canadians, and that government treated them like shit. I have no respect for the Canadian government at all. I mean, I like to watch them get in there and give their speeches and then watch nothing happen, just like it does here in the States. Nothing happens.
It's politics at its finest.
Yeah, it's a show.
Yes.
And I think the Canadians are sick of it. I know the truckers were.
Yeah.
I felt kind of a solidarity with the truckers, tell you the truth. And that's why we watched
truckers
this.
always
What is
have
it?
a
Last
special-
couple of years.
I mean, me being a trucker for 20 years, I mean, they always kind of have a special place in my heart.
Sure.
I
Sure.
kind of try to actively keep up on the bigger stories of what's
Mm.
going on in the trucking field, even still. But what the Canadian government did to the truckers, just for them saying no, we're not going to do this,
Right.
you know, it was totally uncalled for. I mean, it was the
I
lowest.
think it was
of the low
against their
what they did.
constitution too. They found it illegal in what they did, and yet there's no consequence. There's no recourse for those people who had their bank accounts taken and their homes, foreclosed because they couldn't pay the pills, and losing their jobs, getting their trucks impounded.
Yep.
No recourse. And against the Canadian Constitution.
No.
I don't know. Is it just a piece of paper up there, Canuck?
Well, everything's just a piece of paper until they declare martial law or emergency, whatever.
True.
Doing right.
Well, he did that.
That's how they, but after it went to court, they said that he shouldn't have never enacted the Emergency Act.
Yeah, but
That's
so
all
what's a consequence of that?
There wasn't any consequences for it.
Right. So he did it and there's no consequence.
They just kind of went, it's over. We want nothing to do with it.
And then you heard at the New Year too that you guys lost a little more guns too.
Oh yeah, they're gonna take all the guns. It's what's left and ship them to Ukraine, and they're not even compatible with what Ukraine is. But that's a whole other story. We're gonna send them to Ukraine anyway. Well, that's if there's any police.
But you don't have any money. You don't have any weaponry. I mean, who's going to protect your monkey ass?
Well, there isn't anybody. That's the problem.
Right.
Us.
That's why the only people here with guns are the criminals.
And they want to take ours too. Well, it ain't going to happen. Look at poor Australia.
I wish them the best.
I don't wish them the best. I wish them to get fucked. Go out and get fucked. Don't try to take my guns.
They can try.
I'm a peaceful person. But don't do it.
Back me up in a corner, man.
Life is life, and then it's over. Unfortunately, I'm not a rebel or anything like that against my country. I love my country and all, but I think there's ways to handle it. But what Canada did, that's crossing the line, man.
That's crossing the line. Yep.
Taking the bank accounts, freezing the bank accounts.
Just
like what happened here. I see that on par with what this current administration did to those people on January 6th. They still don't have, all of them still don't have their court day in court.
They're going to get pardoned from Trump's first day, though.
Not all of them, no. Not all of them. Those who broke the windows and those who did the damage, no, they're not getting pardoned.
Yeah, them guys won't, but the rest of them, I'm sure will be pardoned.
Right. But I think they ought to go take that cop who shot the woman. And you know what I heard? She was actually trying to hold back people and they shoved her through.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And that guy shot her. Well, what threat was she? She's a little tiny woman.
Yep.
Then the other one, Boyle, who was murdered by those couple of cops. Do you know there was a black man right next to her that almost died too? And the guy trying to save her saved him. Then he went to her, did the CPR, and he's arrested. He's in jail.
Oh. Yeah. Still.
The injustice. To me, that's it. That's on par with what Canadians had to go through with this current administration. It's all throughout the country. Well, look at France. Look at Germany. They've all lost their leaderships.
Well, and I think even if Canuck, you know, the worst words you can hear is, "Hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you."
Oh yeah, it's Chris.
Oh, here.
Well, I've never heard any
No.
government people ever say that here.
Okay.
But if they ever did, I mean, it'd probably strike the fear of God into you. Like, are
Bye,
you
guys.
kidding me? You've never helped me once. What are you going to do now?
Yeah. What are you gonna do now?
Because nobody here has doctors or
They say
nurses,
goodbye.
so quit.
Mom's going, so she says goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Bye,
Hey,
guys.
Daryl.
Bye.
She just had a birthday yesterday. She's
Yeah,
29.
Happy belated
How much?
birthday.
She's 29.
Oh, that's right.
Did you have a chocolate cake or what? Or vanilla?
Yeah, it was a Snickers cake. Boy, it was good. I
Oh,
must
that's
have.
right.
She had a couple bites. She was full. She had fajitas, steak and shrimp fajitas. I shared it with her. I tend to
Well,
do
when,
that.
when you get to be 29, I guess you eat like a bird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's when you get older than 29, you start eating like a horse. Especially if you have the munchies.
Yeah.
You can ask Vampy. She has the munchies tonight. She said she ate something crazy. Some sort of,
Some from 12 hours ago, too.
yeah. I don't remember what it was, but she ate something.
You never said what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I've been waiting for the scoop, but
Whatever. Simply Sue. Oops, walked in at the wrong time. Back later.
It's hard to tell what that was. Yeah, whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, her country is no better than any one of our own. I don't know what happened to the West. What happened? I was really I don't want to go to the Australia no more. I would always wanted to go to Australia, but I don't want to go no more because it's kind of like England. I went to England before in Scotland. England's if you say the wrong thing, you go to jail. If you send you a text, 42's in her house. What's up, 42? What's the latest in your world there, 42? He says, what up, dogs? Ramblin' Rex out there. Hey, Ramblin'. Eden, how you doing, Eden? And San Diego Dan Stan. I can't say it. San Diego
Dan Snow, right?
Yeah.
That
He's probably sleeping it up. Sleeping it off.
No wind, all good. Yes.
Yeah, all the letters kind of get jumbled. My brain works too fast, and I get tired out. Yeah, Eden's out there. Haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, the international politics, I guess. People don't.
Yeah.
Right.
No wind.
Yeah.
All is good, he says. No wind. 42 says there's no wind. He lives in SoCal. Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Well, there was one new fire today, but I
Yeah.
heard that right before I came on the show, but I don't know where it was.
Yeah, that started this afternoon, if I remember right.
Well, I watched looked like somebody had started one last night, and it was a structure fire right next to a big apartment building up on the side of a hill. And they were investigating that one. So it looked, because it burned down a building, but it didn't burn down all the apartment buildings. And
Well, I
it's
can see
very
like
suspicious
5
area.
acres. It got like 5 acres, didn't it, Joe?
So maybe.
That one last. It was like
Yeah.
5 acres. I think that where it was building
Right on
in
the
5
side of a
acres.
hill. Yeah, right next to a
Yep,
big apartment
yep.
complex.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody started that one.
Yep.
There's no
That was
reason
ours,
for a fire to
100%.
start. Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. But I have not been able to watch too much of the news today or this week because I've been working. Kind of relying on you guys to say what you've been seeing and hearing what you've been saying. You know.
Well, I've been slacking on watching the news. Sorry, man. I got into a new series and kind of dove in head first.
Uh-oh. Did you hear they're going to outlaw your access to your favorite part-time show? Luke, you are
What
17,
show is
so I guess there's the Supreme Court's going to outlaw porn to kids under 18. So
Oh,
you're not going to be able to watch porn no more.
Dang. I'm bummed out. Seriously, man.
Really? I know.
No.
What are all those girls on what do they call that channel? That is it like a little bird or something? What do they call that channel? I don't know. I don't know. They all have their special channel they get money from. But I wonder what they're going to do with those people.
Yeah, but they put all
I
their
don't know.
connections. They put all their connections to that channel on TikTok. They're starting to.
Oh yeah, no more TikTok, huh?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the 19th.
Is it
supposedly.
19? Oh yeah.
Yeah, unless the court rules against it or something. I don't know what day they're supposed to do that. It's supposed to start on the 19th.
What are they going to do? Click here if you're not 18. I don't know.
I think it's expected to pass, though, Canuck, in the court, from what I've heard so far.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. They're going to
make TikTok
You're
illegal.
gonna kill it. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless it gets bought by somebody else. Personally, I'd say if anything's connected to the CCP, we confiscate it.
Well, now
the thing of it is,
everybody's switching to Red Note, which is also Chinese.
right? But I mean, like in TikTok, if you're over in China or whatever, you'll mostly be watching educational videos. That's what they put out to their citizens.
Yeah, theirs is
China
different.
on TikTok.
Their TikTok
And then
is different.
in the US, it's people being crazy and stupid and weird things that happen and stuff like that.
I don't watch TikTok, so I don't even know what it is.
It's nothing educated.
Yeah.
It's not
I don't have TikTok downloaded on my phone, but
They
it's
want
from
you
what I've
to dance.
heard and
So when
read.
they invade, you can dance for your supper. So they already have it all.
Oh my God. I heard that too here, Sue. But they said, she says, our stupid politicians banned under 16 from going on social media. Banned everything except Pornhub.
Oh my God.
Oh well.
Yeah, you can't be on Facebook, but you can watch Pornhub. What the fuck?
If that doesn't draw people to Pornhub, is it Pornhub? I think it's Pornhub's not Pornhub, right? There's no.
No,
E,
it's
right?
not Pornhub. Yeah.
There
Oh,
are
she says, yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah,
She's a joke. She
it's
said
a
it was
joke.
a joke. No, but I heard it here that they're trying to ban it in certain states, ban social media from kids or under 18. It's kids, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
I do agree with it. Strictly on the reason because I think kids should be kids and they should spend time outside and they should learn to work with their mom and dad doing stuff, learning their trade,
Well, that means all the kids would live
skills.
down in Florida, because no kid's going to want to play out in negative 20-degree weather.
Oh, when I was a kid, I had to help build a house when it was negative 20. So,
well, you're from, that might be part of your problem.
I haven't seen any kid shovel on my street in about 15 or 20 years minimum.
I'm still searching, but I'm
It-
still searching.
It's all the old people out there.
I'm
Shovel.
yeah.
Well, because all the kids have the machines that blow the snow in the next neighbor's yard.
Well, they don't even use that. I'll
No?
see them come
No, they
outside,
just
like that are teenagers and can drive. They get in their vehicle. They barely clean the vehicle off and drive down the road out through the snow. They don't even. They wait
Yep.
for their parents or somebody else, the neighbor, to come and shovel the driveway out or whatever needs to be done.
Oh
Yep.
no, Sue says they really did ban the kids. Next year it
Yeah.
starts.
Like I've done it with the kids. I said, "Well, you can shovel that." I said,
And
"I
the
don't have to do it."
the CIA, which runs their little country, Australia. CIA runs their country, and they're testing on digital ID to prove your identity, and you're old enough now. You have to have a digital ID, which is what the Chinese have,
Well, they're talking about doing
and
that
they have,
here.
and they so yeah, they're talking about it here too. But that's all the friggin' communists.
076076. That's my ID number.
Yeah, mine's 1-800 fuck off. You know, I ain't gonna have an ID after 5 years or 5 years from now. I won't have an ID. I'm just not gonna have one.
when I renewed my license last year, they were really pushing for that
Real ID.
real ID, and I told them no again.
I told them no
And they
again.
were
as
like,
well.
"Well, you ain't gonna be able to fly or ride a train." I'm like, I drove truck for a living. Do you really think I give a crap about flying anywhere? I'll just take the tugboat. I'll
Well,
drive to the tugboat.
See, they can't
and then
make
we'll
a
take the
law.
tugboat to it.
They can't make a law to travel from state to state or anywhere that's on the public roads because
That's
they
free
can't.
common.
Yeah. So, you know, they can't do that.
Right.
Pine Gap bigger and better than Area 51. Aussies can't get below the first floor. I know Pine Gap is real.
Yeah.
Pine Gap is CIA. It's our largest outside the United States listening mess. I don't know anybody.
That's
I don't
nothing
know
to mess with.
No.
Well, there's the Five Eyes too, which Canada's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Circle Jerk Club there, buddy. The Five
Yeah.
Eyes.
But isn't that partially sponsored from the U.S.'s? They chipped in a whole bunch of money to get that built.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's like Canada, the U.S.,
Britain and Australia.
Australia, and another one. Can't
Germany.
remember. Germany, probably,
Uh,
or something.
I think the U.S. forked like 80% of the bill, though, if I remember right on that one.
But it's all like the intelligence agencies, so they can spy on each other's countries. That's basically what
Yeah.
it is.
yeah, I remember that. Remember the U.S. got busted for doing that in Germany there for about 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, I remember that.
So if you can't
That was
spy
in
on
the-
your
No, it's New Zealand. New Zealand's part of the Five Eyes.
yeah. So if you can't spy on your own country, then another one of the Five Eyes can.
I don't see chili jumping, Eden. Where? It's chili bean. I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing it. Let me refresh.
Depends on if it's close to a volcano or the size.
Oh, it's a small one. Yeah, there's a small one there, bud. You're right. I'm on it. Good to see you, Eden. It's been a minute.
Now we just need a big quake in Greece for California, too.
Right.
Oh shit.
That'll start the whole cycle again.
You know what happened the other night? I'll tell you, this is weird. For no apparent reason, I have this vision where everything west of the Continental Line, west of it, dropped 4 inches. and I can see the land going 4 inches.
Which continental line room?
Well,
Like,
the
The
mystery,
one
versus
that's
US?
right next to me.
the
Oh, okay.
mystery booms have been all over the western states and the east
What?
too.
Yep.
What?
Because I started looking up all the mystery
Yeah.
booms here. They've been like everywhere.
They're trying
Like
to create earthquakes, eh?
That's been the last.
Since we
That's
had the
been the
booms
last couple
here,
of weeks.
yeah,
Right.
and there's
It started out on the east coast, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
and it's come all the way down.
Then it moved
It's
out to
been
the
in,
west.
yeah, and it's been in
never heard
Pennsylvania. I started looking up all the mystery booms here the other day,
Hmm.
and they've been in Arizona. Yuma had them.
Yeah, the vision I saw was it didn't feel like the San Andreas. It felt east of the San Andreas, and I was telling people to get onto the continent.
And somebody in California, I don't know where it was, but their house was near the beach somewhere, and they said they saw lightning coming up out of the water in clear sky.
You know, in all actuality, that wouldn't surprise me, Canuck.
Well, there's that volcano that they're predicting is going to explode this year off of Oregon. I mean,
And that's out in the ocean, right?
I've seen like 5 or 6 different knuckleheads saying it, and even
That's
on
out
the
in the
news
ocean,
channels.
though.
They're so
Right.
And
desperate.
there was a
The
gigantic
Axel Seamountain's going to explode.
downtown LA the night after the fire started. That sounded like it came down out of the sky because people recorded it.
Well,
They
there's
were trying
lasers breaking the sound barrier, right?
Because I think it was Wednesday night, the night after the fire. And it was like in the middle of the night, like 3 or 4 in the morning or something. But people recorded it because they were up and around. So, and then they called the authorities and said, "What was that boom?" And they said, "Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it." And this is the response. All these people are getting to the booms.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
It's only a test.
So I started looking up all these
This
mystery
is only a
booms,
test.
and they've all been going on since like Christmas time. About the same time we heard the mystery booms here, and I found them like.
Yeah,
I seen drones, large drones dropping a mist behind them, a gas or a mist. It was heavier than gas. It was heavier than oxygen, so it went to the ground like a spray of some sort. I saw several drones doing that. I thought that was quite weird. So I was like, what?
But different people said that some booms were like different.
They are
Wow.
slamming around empty trash can with the dump trucks. Okay.
it all started off to this 7. It all started on the East Coast after that 7-3 in Vanuatu
Vanuatu.
on the 16th is when it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanuatu.
So it's crazy, all the stuff. Everybody's, and they said some places it sounded like music, some sort of music.
Really?
Or like symphony. But I'd read about that before because they had that in Hawaii before. Kilauea had the big eruption in 2018. And some other times they've heard it, and that's what it sounds like. It sounds
Maybe
like
it's Rosie O'Donnell out there blowing lightning out of
trumpets
her
or
ass.
horns, and it comes down out of the sky.
She's a whale, right? Rosie
And then
O'Donnell.
if it's loud enough, it will shake things on the ground.
Hey, somebody said she's a whale out there.
She's like a megalodon shark. Come on, get it straight.
Blasting lightning out her butt.
But a bunch of people that have been studying those things think it is something to do with the plates getting ready to move.
I think so too. I think that's closer to the reality, bud.
So it's either the atmosphere responding to what the plates are doing, or both.
Well, yesterday was. We can look today. Hold on. We'll do this in the morning.
Are they predicting that the plates are going to do a big
Shoot.
move here?
Yesterday there were.
I think it's going to do because these booms are like all over. They're not just one place. It's like all the
Yeah.
way from the East Coast straight to the West Coast. So, by
The
what I'm
Pacific
thinking,
Northwest yesterday,
logical
today
to
was
think
not.
that it's doing this boom and it's moving a little bit, right, with the booms, but then it's going to, at some point, move big on,
Gonna make a big flip.
which could be I think West
Well,
Coast, but who
what's
knows?
that?
It could be East Coast too, or Midwest. Just depends.
Well, it could be both too, couldn't it?
Well, what if it's the polar switching? I mean, the sun did his thing already. It already switched.
Do you think we're on the downward slide now? Do you think we're over the peak?
But I never looked up like booms in South America because they've been having all the waves and stuff coming in.
Oh yeah, those crazy.
Yeah, but don't they get weird light down there too, along the plate
They get
edges?
a ton of lightning on the east coast of Brazil or something. Guyana or something. What's that one? There's more lightning there than anywhere else in the world?
Guyana, yeah.
Hmm. And it's offshore too. It's not onshore. It's out in the ocean.
And I was only looking up North American booms, so I never looked at South America to find out if they were having strange ones down there too. Probably are though, because
Yeah.
they've been having all the weird waves and big waves and stuff.
What would happen if the coronal hole totally enveloped the whole face of the sun? It'd be a lot of wind.
I think we'd be
It'd be a lot of wind,
SOL.
yeah. 18th is supposed to have some more wind on us. So,
Yep.
I mean, the wind right now is at 476. Proton density is 2.39.
It was at like 5:30 something this morning.
Yeah, I don't remember. I said it. I don't remember.
Well, it was before your show. It was early this morning.
Yeah.
Like 4 o'clock. And
The KP is under 3 right now. The coronal hole says 18th to the 20th. And that's when the wind.
that's when the wind's supposed to hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool watching that comet go through our area. That's pretty cool pictures.
Yeah, it was.
What would happen if they're going to totally envelop the whole face of the sun? Yeah. Well,
Yes.
what happens is that's a cooling of the sun. That would not be probably pretty good. Those black parts where the whole coronal holes
Well,
are.
and that's where all the cold wind.
Yeah. Generally, what
That's where the
happens
fast
is
winds come out of.
yeah,
right?
it comes out because it's subsurface and the corona or the outside of the sun, where all the fire stuff looks like. When it erupts, it leaves a hole there and of cooler, still billion degrees, but I think the sun and the moon, not the moon, but the sun and the earth are intrinsically connected. And I think they're very similar. I think whatever's happened on the sun happens here as well. That's just what I think. And whether it be in our core,
Right.
or something like that, But I did see another article last week as I was perusing through. There is a connection between asteroids and earthquakes, and drawing asteroids into the areas. At least in that article, it said. And I know Canuck has often said
because
there
the
might be a connection.
magnetic fields interact, and the closer they get,
Yeah.
it'll pull them in. Which is why I think they hit on the liniment.
Well, did you
They hit off windmills.
did you hear that?
You watch out for that comet named Don
What's that?
Quixote.
Yeah.
That
Well, did you
comet
guys
Don
hear about
Quixote. You got to
comet
watch
and-
out for that one there.
Because the
That comet that was supposed to hit in 2029 that they figured
Oh,
now
that's Apophis.
it'll pass within 100 miles of Earth.
They don't know yet.
It's not supposed to.
It's
Well,
supposed to
it
come
missed
near
the
us,
G-Thing.
go around the sun, and come back and they don't know if it's going to hit us or not.
Because the impact craters always
Well-
seem to be in straight lines, but they have different ages. So that means that it hit the same thing, hit almost in the same spot multiple times. So it's interesting. So why would it hit? Because the odds of it hitting in like the same areas, like
Well, you can have an asteroid that broke up and is traveling along a path, you know, like Levi or whatever it was that hit Jupiter. You know, that was a broken up asteroid that pummeled that planet. Man, if those things would hit us, we would not be here anymore.
No.
You know.
but they say the two ones in Greenland are two different ages. Even
And it's
though they're all-
interesting that they call it, its name is wormwood, like the Bible one. It's very interesting that they use that term. And so I go, what? Really? Why would they name it that? You know,
Well, it's
I always
only
kind of felt that was odd.
years out. It's coming in 2029, right after the LA Olympics.
Oh, they got canceled, by the way. LA's Olympics got canceled. They're going to do it somewhere else.
When did they say that?
Yesterday, the day before.
Well, I guess they won't build the smart city then, because they want to have it all done by 2028.
What? Hollywood is smart. Right.
That's where they got to build it, right out there.
No.
They got all that free land now to build it on. And they'll have drones.
Yeah, the
watching.
Olympics aren't the way to build the Los Angeles. Cast a shadow over the 28 Olympics yesterday. Could lose 28 Olympics over the wildfires a day ago. Yeah.
Because Newsom was talking about is whatever it is, whatever the project is, LA 2.0 or something.
Yeah, just like the Hawaiian stuff, right? Just like Hawaii 2.0 too. All those people who got their houses burned in those canyons, those many of those houses were there from the 1930s. So they're all paid off. And they're super expensive, right? And people don't have a kind of income that can afford to live there if they didn't have those houses, you know, passed down and live there. That's a good way to get rid of people, right? Just like those in Hawaii, the same damn thing. It's very interesting how China has a bunch of blue roofs on their buildings. You ever notice that?
Dude.
Tons.
Crazy.
I was going through some Chinese cities going, what do they know that we
Half
don't
of the
know?
roof are blue.
Well, I wouldn't say it's quite half yet, but all the military and the government buildings blue roofs because the green.
It's the blue laser.
It's the green laser that it can't get through. I think it's the green one, and that's what.
Well, what after the green ones are the purple ones.
Yeah, the whole spectrum. Man.
Yeah, it's all the Star Trek colors, basically.
Well, they say no laser can get through a blue roof either.
My room's blue.
By what I read, it depends. Yeah, it depends on which color the laser is, I guess. Supposedly. Because it can't get through the same color as what it is.
You stupid yummy. Look at this.
And all the LiDAR colors are the same ones. So the LiDAR ones that can see down far into the ocean, I can't remember how many meters it is now. They're green.
There you go. There's blue in the studio.
Well, you got the blue room, but do you have the blue roof?
No. That's why I'm inside with the blue room.
Yeah. That's why the Smurfs were around so early. That was the first indication. Blue people
The Blue Men. Remember the Blue Men, right? Are the Blue Men the drummers?
Yeah.
Blue Man Group.
The
Yep.
Blue- Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blue Room needs a
I
blue
could
pill.
never understand.
Oh my God.
Murph.
She says, I need a blue pill. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the Andorians were blue with antennas on their heads. So there you go.
Oh, that's
Yep,
right.
yep.
Huh? Hey,
Star Trek.
one of them was pretty cute.
Yeah. And the Orions were green.
Some
Yeah.
grande malgas.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, talk dirty enough today. So we didn't solve Canadians' problems. Definitely didn't solve the U.S.'s problems. Israel's problems either. Hamas's problems, I think we solved it. We said FAOFO. Did we talk about Ukraine and Russia yet? Russia wants it wiped out because they've got a certain amount of land that they want to keep. That's their whole big deal. Hey, let's close it down now. Come on, let's sign a peace. We had it before, and then they said no. And they're all pissed off because they said no. Oh yeah, we had a peace. So the one we'll accept is the one that we had peaceful, already a plan. Don't change it. In Turkey, when they had half or that quarter of Ukraine. You know, I don't know. What are the boys on that channel telling you, Canuck? I've not been able to see it in 2 days.
I never watched their long show, but I watched the 15-minute one there this afternoon, and they said that Poland says that Russia is planning to make a whole bunch of planes crash, airliners, all over, I guess. So they've hacked in. But I heard this before, back a while ago. But,
Well, they just knocked down GPS, and that'll happen. All the planes in our world fly by GPS.
But
take out GPS and the planes
what
crash.
I saw before is they would hack into their systems when they're taking off or landing and make them crash for whatever reason. So I'm wondering if all these landing gear problems lately were the test run, where all these planes crashed when their landing gear wasn't working right.
Well, one of them, Russia did shoot down.
It's happened here in Halifax twice since that one in the Philippines crashed, where they were coming in to land and something happened with the with the landing gear when they were landing and they ran off the runway. It's happened here twice in Halifax.
Maybe it's the pilot wasn't awake; he was woke. And he drove off the end. You know,
that's all they have to do is mess up something when you're taking off or landing.
The pilot was sponsored by NFG.
Yeah, NFG. Yeah.
So
yeah, Russian did shoot down a jetliner. Yeah, they did. Yep. And I watched that plane land and almost made it. There's a reason why they flew away from Russia and tried to get to a new country, because their ailerons were messed up. And they unfortunately, those people died.
Well, the Philippines plane that crashed there, the people that make it, or one of the pilots that fly it, says there's 3 ways you can put the landing gear down. So
there's the crank, there's the button, and I don't know how the third one would be, but I know there's a crank.
Yeah, he said whatever I can't remember which plane it was, but he said that one has 3 ways to put the landing gear down.
Oh, good night, Vampy.
Because it's supposed to be made so that you have at least one way to get it down if others fail. So he said that he doesn't know how it.
If the hydraulics fail, you're screwed.
But they have redundant hydraulic pumps to, in case one goes down.
Yeah, he said whatever these other things were, is they're all separate systems or something.
Yep. It's a redundant double system in there.
So he was saying that he doesn't know how it happened unless they had more than one system fail, which he didn't think should be possible.
I don't know, bud.
Should be. but anything's possible, bud.
Well, if
So,
anybody out there has anything to add to the comments here that we've made, don't trust the channel. Don't trust anybody. We're just talking on our ass, but it's okay. You can do that too. You can do it. And if you feel like you want to put down a comment, put it down below. If you want to be a part of the show here sometime and you want to talk some smack, shoot us a line.
Get a hold of
JSL
Joe.
discussions at gmail.com. Discussion, singular.
oh, and
JSL.
Bakersfield's been having booms ever since they had the fry back there.
Oh, yeah. Bakersfield. Well,
Yeah, 'cause people-
Tehachapi's on the chopping block. Yeah. But if you feel like you want us to cover a subject, go ahead and put it into chat and or shoot us a line at JSL discussion at gmail.com. And remember, don't get none on you. Good night, boys.
Good night.
Good
We got to
night,
pass
bud.
out. Yeah, I got to go to sleep.
I need a bit of drink. I'm too thirsty.
You guys